Are you sick of living from paycheck to paycheck while rich people seem to make money seem easy? What if I told you that the key isn't luck but a set of tried and true rules that anyone can learn? Miyamoto Musashi, a famous samurai, shared some wise words about how to handle money like the rich do in this video. Step 1. Invest consistently. Musashi said, "You must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain. You don't get rich all at once. You build it up over time by following good rules consistently, like a fighter who sharpens his sword every day." Rich people don't wait for the right time to invest. They know that time is the most valuable thing they have, so they make good use of it. They plant seeds year after year because they know the crop is coming. Investing regularly means making habits that add up over time. You don't have to time the market, you just have to be in it at the right time. Rich people believe in the power of compounding, which means letting their money work for them slowly but surely. This is similar to how Musashi trained non-stop. They put money into businesses, stocks, real estate, and even themselves. They put their gains back into the business because they know that every dollar they put back in builds their army of wealth. Being consistent also makes you stronger. Even if the market goes up and down, a smart investment will stick with their plan and trust the process. Musashi fought many fights, but he knew that those who keep going, change, and stay focused on their goal will win. Rich people think the same way. They don't give up when things go wrong. They instead learn, make changes, and keep spending. Investing regularly is like making a promise to yourself, your future, and the goal of being financially free. Rich people don't wait for the right chance to come along. They make chances by showing up every day. Their wealth doesn't come from short bursts of excitement, but from following a strict pattern. This is the way of control, the way of Musashi, and anyone who wants to walk it can. Step 2. Live below their means. Don't do anything that doesn't help, Musashi said. Rich people know this very well. They are aware that spending too much hurts economic growth. Their only goal is to be free, not to look good. They don't let other people tell them what to want. Instead, they control themselves and know that real wealth isn't about looking rich, but having the money to live life the way they want to. Being disciplined to live below your means is not the same thing as being poor. Figuring out what's important and getting rid of what's not is an art. Musashi didn't carry much because he was only thinking about what he needed to win the battle. Rich people also choose value over show. The cars they drive are for their wants, not to show off. Fashion is not important to them when they buy clothes. Spending money on things that make their lives better, not to show off, is what they do. This concept makes a big difference between what you earn and what you spend. This difference is what you use to invest, grow your assets, and get rich. This space is where freedom is found. People who spend all the money they make are stuck in the circle of work, earn, and spend. Rich people get away with things by making smart choices and living simply. Being grateful grows when you live below your means. You start to value what you have more when you don't chase after every shiny thing. You feel like you're in charge of your wants and needs. Musashi knew that the best way to be a fighter was to first master yourself. In the same way, the first fight in finance is inside. Rich people win that fight by living with purpose and being humble. It's simple. Spend less than you earn, save the difference, and watch your money grow. By doing this, you build an abundant life, not by having too much, but by being wise and disciplined. Step 3. Diversify income streams. The idea of flexibility shows how wise Musashi was. It said, "Do not think dishonestly." This means getting ready for everything that could happen and seeing things as they really are, not how you want them to be. Rich people know it's risky to depend on just one source of income. To protect themselves from the unexpected, the rich have many ways to make money, just like a warrior brings many weapons. Having different sources of income isn't just a safety measure, it's also a way to grow. Rich people know that no matter how good a chance looks, it's not always a good idea. They put their money into businesses, stocks, real estate, intellectual property, and even side projects. They look for ways to make money with their skills, to make money from the things they love, and to make the world a better place. This way of doing things helps them get through rough times, deal with change, and take advantage of new chances. Musashi never fought the same battle twice because he changed his strategy for each opponent. Rich people think the same way because they know the world is active and always changing. Their careers and jobs change over time, so they don't get stuck in one place. One stream gets slower and another one gets faster. Having more than one source of cash also makes you more resilient. It lets you take risks in one area without putting your whole way of life at risk. So you don't have to worry about losing your job or the economy going down. It gives you choices, which is a key part of freedom. It's easy to learn. Don't depend on just one source. Explore new things, broaden your horizons, and build a web of income that supports and pulls you up. Rich people don't put all their money in one basket. Instead, they grow a garden of streams of income that feed the whole. When it comes to money, this is the way of the fighter in the world of wealth. Step 4. Leverage debt wisely. See the truth in everything, Musashi said. Rich people know the truth about debt. It can be a useful tool or a dangerous trap. They know that debt can help them get rich faster if they use it wisely. In spite of its power, they treat it with great care, like a sharp sword. Rich people don't worry about debt, but they also don't waste it. They take out loans not to spend money, but to make things. They borrow money to put into businesses, real estate, or other investments that will go up in value over time. They know that money costs something and the gains must be greater than the costs, so they use leverage to increase profits. This is a very important difference. A lot of people get stuck in consumer debt, which is when they borrow money for things that lose value over time, like trips, cars, or nice things. Rich people stay away from this. They use debt in a smart way, to get rich, not to pay for their fancy lives. They think like fighters and carefully consider every choice because they know that debt can be both a weapon and a liability. The key to this is Musashi's approach of being flexible. Rich people are always on the lookout and change their plans as things change. They keep an eye on interest rates, refinance when it makes sense, and pay off debt when it gets too much. They don't become slaves to their debt. Instead, they treat it like a helper. The lesson is that leverage is not bad in and of itself, but it can be dangerous if not used properly. Rich people know this. They understand debt, but they don't fear it. They use it to make their investments grow, make more money, and plan for the future. This is how you become a master. You don't give up tools. You learn how to use them with skill, knowledge, and control. This is how rich people handle their money, and this is how you should too. Step 5. Focus on assets, not just income. The author Musashi said, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." When you're managing your wealth, this means focused on building long-term value instead of just the next paycheck. Rich people know that having money is important, but having assets is what gives you real freedom. They think a lot about markets, businesses, and chances in the world, and they invest their money in things that will grow. Things that make you money are assets. Examples of assets are stocks that pay dividends, rental homes, and businesses that bring in cash flow. Rich people work hard to get these things because they know that each one is a seed that will grow into something bigger in the future. People don't trade time for money all the time. They spend their time making processes, learning new skills, and making things that last. Income is short-lived. You work, get paid, and then the money is gone. On the other hand, assets keep growing and making money long after the initial work is done. Musashi knew the difference between things that would last and things that would not. He wanted to be the best at what he did, not just win short-term battles. Rich people use the same strategy. They build wealth that lasts longer than them. The way you think about spending changes too. Each dollar wasted is a dollar that could have been put into something of value. Rich people know about opportunity cost. They know that every spending that isn't necessary is a missed chance to make more money. They put off getting what they want because they value long-term gain over short-term pleasure. Putting your attention on assets helps you plan ahead, see the big picture, and play the long game. It is the way of the warrior, steady, strict, and with a goal. Rich people build their lives around more than just money. And by doing that, they make freedom possible for future generations as well. Step 6. Plan for taxes strategically. Taxes can either be a quiet force that takes away wealth or a smart way to keep and grow it. Rich people know that dealing with taxes means predicting problems and getting ready for them ahead of time. They work with tax and financial experts to come up with plans that lower their costs in a way that is legal and effective. Rich people often hide their money from too much taxes by setting up trusts, retirement accounts, real estate investments, and business structures. They also plan their income and spending so that they get the best tax results. Musashi's teachings stress how important it is to learn about our environment and understand tax rules, deductions, and ways to delay or lower taxes. Rich people often hide their money from too much taxes by setting up trusts, retirement accounts, real estate investments, and business structures. They also plan their income and spending so that they get the best tax results. To handle your taxes like a rich person, you should first learn about tax credits, deductions, and the different ways you can make money. You should talk to a tax expert who can help you based on your unique goals. It is important to put money into knowing the rules of the financial game. A big part of handling your money like a rich person is making smart plans for taxes. It's not enough to just lower your tax bill, you need to protect your income so it can grow. You have one of the most powerful financial tools at your disposal when you take charge of your tax plan. Don't forget what Musashi said, the way is in training. Learn the rules, pay attention to the experts, and always use what you've learned. Step 7. Continuous financial education. Rich people put learning first and are always changing to keep up with the changing business. They keep an interest in new technologies like AI, blockchain, and clean energy as they study new markets, businesses, and innovations. They study global trends, demographic shifts, and economic policies to prepare for change and see beyond short-term wins. They can stay ahead of the curve because they think about the long term. Learning about money also means learning from other people's mistakes. Rich people read stories of business people, investors, and thinkers who were successful to learn from their mistakes and understand how they thought. They look at past market crashes and economic bubbles to know that the market is affected by things like fear and greed in people. They train themselves to stay cool when other people are freaking out and to take quick action when chances come up. Learning about money all your life is a process that isn't just about mastering one subject, but about developing a mindset of humility, discipline, and curiosity. The most valuable thing about them is not just their money, but also what they know and their desire to learn. Like Musashi, they train every day, trying to learn something from every event and get better every day. Stopping to grow is the first sign of falling behind in the world of money.